Hi, I'm Sandy Shepard, a master cake decorator, and I'm here to show you today how to fill your cake and to make sure it's nice and level so that when you fill it and stack the two cakes together, that they will have a complete level look at the end. First, I like to choose whichever cake I'm going to put on the bottom, and it doesn't really matter what much, but this one is sitting really flat and this one's got just a slight slope to it, so I'm going to use that one as my bottom cake. Now just take a little bit of my icing and put it on the wax side of my cardboard. Spread it on there. That works like my glue. Then I can take my cake, which is well cooled, and I can put the cake circle on that and turn it over. Ta-da! There you go. I just realized that I didn't have my pastry bag full of icing, and I need that for my next step. This is one of those large plastic bags which I've shown you earlier, and I have my coupler without the ring on it. I've taken the ring off. I'm going to put the coupler into the bag and slide it on down in there. When cutting a pastry bag to fit with the plastic bag, I need to cut it right there at the top of the ring. So I'm going to scoot that back just a teeny bit and grabbing my scissors, trim it off a little bit more and press it back down in there. Okay, now I'm ready to fill my bag. Notice how I folded the top down so it forms this nice cuff. Makes it an easy place for my hand to hold it, keeps my hand from getting messy, as well as keeps the top of the bag from becoming too messy. I am going to take a nice scoop of icing, slide it right down into the bag, and then I scrape that spatula off against my thumb as I pull it out. That's plenty for what we need today. Once I've got the icing in the bag, I'm going to take it up at the top here and squeeze, bringing it down to the coupler, and give it a little squeeze to come out the tip. All right, now I'm ready to start filling my cake. I want to keep my icing covered because my icing does dry to the touch, and I like to keep the top of it moist as well. I have my cake set on a little turntable just for my own ease, and I've got my icing in the coupler, and I'm going to start to just squeeze a little wall of icing all the way around the cake till I get back to the beginning. Ta-da. See, that's all I needed that for. And we're going to fill this chocolate cake today with the dulce de leche. This is a Spanish South American tradition, but it's a wonderful caramel. Has a nice creamy consistency, very easy for spreading, but thick enough to hold in the nice cake and stay. And I'm going to, if I can get a hold of the edge of the cardboard, there we go. Slide this around, spread this around nicely into the cake. When you're filling a cake, let's say you've got a nice raspberry filling that you like to use. One of the things that's important to remember is not to overfill the cake. If you get your filling higher than the wall of icing, when you put your other cake on top of it, it's going to ooze out the middle. So keep your filling below that icing wall so that it won't come out the middle. And that's sliding too much for me today. Okay. So I'll just get this spread around nicely. That'll be a nice caramel, and chocolate's always a good combination. And there we go. I'll set that aside. And for a minute, I'm going to set this aside. Now I'm going to take my other cake, which I see a slope to. Now maybe that's fine for you, and you could use that if you really wanted to, but I like my cake to even be a little more level. So I'm going to take my nice serrated knife, and I'm going to hold that nice and even and just zigzag saw. Now you see I'm holding the cake over here, but as soon as I get that knife near me, I'm going to get my hand out of the way because it will certainly cut my fingers. And I'm going to take off the top. Now to check the levelness of that cake, I'm going to turn it upside down again, and now I can see it's nice and level. I always like to ice my cakes with the bottom side up. This is the part that was in the bottom of the pan. The bottom side up because it has a real smooth finish to it. All right, I've got my other cake all prepared, and I'm going to set that cake on top of it. I forget. Many of my students always fuss at me when I grab a cake like this and just pick it up because they're like, wow, you can do that? They're kind of surprised. If you're not accustomed to handling cakes like I am, there's another technique to use. Have your cake set on a cardboard circle, and then when you pick it up, it's easier to hold. You can gently put your cake at the edge of the other cake and wiggle and pull that cardboard circle out of your way. Press the top of the cake down. This helps stick it together with that glue in the middle, and then you're good to go. And the next thing I'm going to show you is how to crumb coat a cake.
To watch the other segments in this video series or for how-to videos on almost any other topic, visit monkeyseed.com.